Hi again, everyone. My name's Anita, and I'm back to talk about Korean skincare. So there was a scandal that happened in late 2020 that really shook the Korean beauty industry, including its customers. So I myself being one of them. When it comes to skincare, I also take it very seriously because it is a way of health as well. I wanted to first start off by saying that this scandal did not deter me from buying Korean skincare. In fact, I think that it was an event that led to further improvement, a betterment of Korean skincare that was already good before, and now it's just taking it up to the next level, especially with its sun care. So what happened during that time of late 2020, the Korean SPF factors that were manufactured, so where it said SPF 50, and I'm not saying that this was one of the ones that was under scrutiny, but it was discovered that one of the Korean manufactured sunscreens actually advertised a higher SPF than it actually was. And the difference was that through testing, the results came out that the SPF was only a 19, but it was marketed as a 50. When it comes to measuring sunscreens, the SPF factor measures the UVB levels and its ability to block the skin from getting burnt. There was also the rating of the PA++, which denotes how well that sunscreen blocks the UVA rays, which is the rays that are responsible from aging. So they come from the sun, but also from tanning beds as well. The scandal didn't involve any of the PA ratings, it was just the SPF ratings. The lack of a universal standard makes it really complicated, and so I won't get into the details of exactly what happened, but in short, a number of different sunscreens came out to be lower SPF ratings than they were reporting on their labels. So this really caused a lot of commotion and a lot of noise. Some people actually turned away from Korean beauty, saying that it's a scam and it's fraudulent. So I'm generally a personality that doesn't really freak out easily. I tend to stay calm for most of the time, and so even though I use sunscreen on a daily basis all year round, I didn't get upset by what was happening in Korea. I actually sympathize with a lot of the brands because they do outsource their manufacturing, and some of the events they may have known about, but others could have just gone under their radar. What I was impressed with was the Korean brand's ability to react so quickly to solution. And like with any event, I think that that's really important. Messaging to customers, apologies, and also providing some level of transparency as to what they were going to do to address this. The reaction of the skincare industry was something that really gave me a sense of comfort, so I hope that my opinions can really help you think of that side too. I think that in the end, we end up with better products. Even the products that were out there before the scandal happened, I was using them. So a lot of the sunscreens that were under scrutiny, they're still some of my favorites. Even SPF of 19 is better than no SPF. There are some instances where I forget to wear SPF. So those days, I'm definitely more worse off than wearing the sunscreens that the results did not come out as favorably as expected. From a sunscreen user and also someone who's 42 and focuses on protecting my skin, I think that the more important factor is the amount of SPF that we actually use. So what I really focus on is making sure that I'm using enough to cover my entire face, ears, and neck on a daily basis. And even on days where I don't feel like it's too sunny, those are the days if you walk out without SPF, I find that sometimes the sun does pop out from a cloudy day. And so carrying SPF around either in a cushion or just a bottle format, the two elements of the amount of sunscreen and how long you should keep an SPF bottle are ones that I will describe in a later video, because I think it's very important for us to note those, and actually that is going to determine how well our skin is protected, more so than the SPF labels on the bottle. I personally don't have a science background, and I don't have the facilities to do lab testing. And so I did a bit of research based on the results reported by other people. In particular, the figures that I follow are An In-suk, and she is the CEO of the Korea Institute for Dermatological Sciences. So she is very well researched, knowledgeable, and she also is unbiased because she does not work for any of the cosmetic companies. So she was a really great resource and someone who I consistently admire as a CEO and a working mom. And then also Director Pai, who produces really informative Korean skincare videos in Korean, but she also provides English subtitles. So she did a lot of extensive research. She did her own testing at the time of when this scandal had opened up. Between 40 and 60 different sunscreens that she had personally tested. She created her own line of sunscreen shortly after the whole dust settled on this. And then finally, Odile Monod. She is someone who is based in South Korea and she works in skincare cosmetics marketing. She put out a really detailed video. Her information was just so impeccably organized that I tuned into her and I got a lot of information from her. I still love Korean skincare and Korean sunscreens. After using Korean sunscreens, I will go back to any North American brands just because the texture is just really hard to find. And that's what Korean cosmetic companies, they really specialize in making sure that it's of a consistency and it feels really comfortable and great on your skin. So I will continue to use, like, this is still one of my favorites. Same thing with the Misha. Like, these are ones from last year and I've been using them all throughout until the bottles are empty. And then now I've graduated to some newer bottles and you can see my reviews of this one in a separate video. Until next time, take care and see you again with better skin.